Hey everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to get whatever trainer ID, secret ID, or TSV you want in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. This process won't work in Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, although you can choose your trainer ID and secret ID in those games. It's just the process is completely different, so it will be covered in a separate video. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to cover what you need out of game, and then we're going to cover what you need in game, and then I'm going to show you the process of actually RNGing the ID. So the first thing you're going to need is this Japanese program called Gen 6 TID search. It's by Banziri15 or BZL. I'll link their Hatana blog and Twitter in the description. And that's where you can download the program. Now, the downside is it's completely in Japanese. So if you can't read Japanese, you're not going to know what it says. The upside is I'm going to translate it and show you all of its functions here. And I'll also have a translation in the description with like an image. I'll overwrite the words in English just so you have a reference. And then the other program you're going to need is Flowtimer. Now in Flowtimer, because the setup there is much more simple, you're going to want to make sure you're on variable offset mode. You're going to want to make sure the FPS is 59.8261. And then the only other thing is your start button. It should be set to F9 and it should be global. So that means even if you're not clicked on to Flowtimer, when you hit F9, it will start for you. So that's really important. Okay, so let's cover Gen 6 TID. So in this program, there are going to be 3 tabs in the X and Y section. So we're going to be doing that here. The first tab is the seed finding tab. Now there's 2 buttons here. The top button is just seed search, and it's going to be seed search from all seeds. This button here is for if you already knew what your previous initial seed was, you can paste that here and it will speed up the search astronomically. This is for how many blinks you're going to be searching for. Just leave that the same. There's no reason. This is the blink button. You're going to click this every single time you see the professor blink. So 1, 2, 3, and this box records the amount of time that occurs between each button press and aka each time he blinks. This is going to be what you hit when you end the blinking recording section. So it knows for how many to search through here. This is the search button and this is the cancel button for the search. This tab is the ID search tab. You don't got to worry about these 4 boxes. They are actually automatically filled in by the program itself. This is the frame range you're willing to search for. Now, 0 to 500, if you're familiar with other types of RNG manipulation, might actually not seem very like a very big range, and you can increase this to 9,999. However, the RNG here advances extremely slowly. It only advances when the professor or one of the other NPCs blinks, and that can take a really long time. So like even 5,000 frames could be over an hour. So just keep that in mind. I'm probably going to search within 5,000 frames, but you'll see. So these checkboxes determine what you're going to be searching for. So if you have TID checked, the TID you type in here will be the only one it searches for. So on and so forth. So that applies to the TID and SID or the TSV or all 4. But keep in mind, the more specific you get with what you want, the less likely for it to occur. And the either longer you're going to have to wait in regards to the frame range, or the more reset you're going to have to do to get a new seed. Because we cannot control our initial seed in this RNG, so it's basically luck if the ID we want is going to show up or not. And then this section here is the actual RNG Manipulate Advancement section. It's going to make a little bit more sense when we're actually doing the RNG, but I'll go over it here anyway. So this thing here is a little timer, and it's going to be moving right to left, and it's going to beep every time it hits this section. The goal of what you're doing here is to make sure that this thing here beeps every time the professor blinks, and so they'll be synchronous. This button here is just the start button for actually starting this blink thing. This button means to go faster, and this button means to go slower. Basically, when the timer starts, it's not going to be exactly synchronous with the professor's blinking, and so you're going to be adjusting it. Go a little faster if he blinks before you, or if he blinks after the beep happens, go a little slower. This is the gender selection button. You just have to pick this before you actually continue and pick your gender. This button is the stop button, and it's also tied to the F9 key. And so basically, 4 times throughout the intro, the RNG advances completely stop, and they're during little screen transitions. So you're going to hit this stop button during every single one of the transitions. And during the last one specifically, you also want to start your timer at the same time. So that's why you're going to hit the F9 key to hit the stop button at the same time as your timer starts. This here is a frame range of IDs that are going to be generated. This is the generate button for the IDs. This is the cancel button for the IDs, and this is the reset button. It will reset and reload the IDs. And this whole column here is going to be spitting out IDs. It's going to make a lot more sense when we're actually in it. So with all of that out of the way, we're going to start the game. Now, you're going to want to make sure you're on the most recent version of Pokemon X or Y, so that's 1.5. You can see at the bottom of the screen here. Now, you're also going to want to make sure the save file is deleted. And the way you do that is at the title screen, instead of hitting A or start, you can hold the face buttons B, X, Y, and up, and it will ask you to delete your save data. With all of that said and all of that out of the way, we're actually ready to start our RNG. So the first thing we're going to do is just play through the intro up until the professor's face is visible. You don't got to do any timing here. You don't got to do anything like that here at all. It's going to be after the mural here. We're not doing anything during this portion. Although I believe he is blinking here. I just saw him, yeah. So, right here, there's going to be this big old mural. And once we see his face and we see him blink, we're going to click this button. Just saw him. There's one. Two. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And you hit the stop button and you start searching. Now the search is going to lag your PC quite a bit. In addition to that, you're just going to want to leave the game on at this blinking screen after that all happens. So I'm going to actually pause for the search section because it's actually so hard on my computer. Okay, so once you have found the initial seed, what I recommend doing is finding it again to be sure. So you'll get your result here and just hover over the seed and copy it. And then paste it in this box, in this radial thing, and then reset your game. Like, just soft reset it. And do the exact same strategy again. However, this time, the search will be extremely quick. And this is a quick way to both reduce the waiting time and also to confirm that you actually hit the correct seed via the blinks. One. So as you can see, I got a seed basically instantly. Although that might not be it, because we'll try again, but we'll wait a little longer rather. Alright. So once you found it, and you're sure, what you're going to do is double-click the seed, and it will auto-fill out this box. Now what you can do is check for a trainer ID that you want. So that trainer ID isn't there. That one's not there either. Got 0. That one. That one. So as you can see, I'm searching several different trainer IDs that I think are interesting, and I'm getting exactly 0 results. And I have quite the frame range here. And so if you can't find anything you want, what you can do is uncheck everything and then hit the generate button, and it will just generate every single TID that exists. And you could potentially look for something interesting that you think you'd be interested in. Or you could reset and find your trainer ID again. I actually don't super duper have a specific trainer ID that I'm interested in. It'd be cool to get my birthday, but it wasn't here. I already searched for it. I'll give it one more go to see if I can get one. So this is our new current seed. We're going to paste it here. We're going to soft reset and try one more time. Alright, so we're just going to be checking for another seed. But you can see what I mean by the resets being pretty quick. Finding your new initial seed is not the most difficult thing, and it's pretty quick on subsequent resets. Only the first one is intensive and long search. And I think that doing 10 blinks is the best amount. Pretty foolproof in regards to making sure you're on the correct seed. As you can see, another one instantly popped up. We're going to double click our seed there, and we're going to see if we can get anything better. Oops. Ooh. Just trying to find an ID. That could be fun. Oh. Hey, this is actually a pretty cool ID. I don't know if there's anything better. All my usual meme IDs. That's even farther away. We want something closer to that. So again, I could check by just, just checking all the IDs. It just generated all 0 to whatever 1,000. See if I can't find an ID that's like a pretty low frame. I don't know. 81's pretty cool. Might go for that. think we'll go for 81. I'll just settle on that for the video purposes. All right, so with that out of the way, once we've got a frame picked out, we're going to go over to the third tab, and we're going to start the blink time. So he's going to go off every time he blinks. I don't know if I've got my desktop audio on. I do. So as you can see, he's blinking a little bit before this timer is scrolling, so we're going to want to go into the faster button. So I'm hitting faster. So as you can see, the blink is basically exactly when the timer beeps. He blinks at the exact same time as this timer beeps. And that's exactly what we want. Next, you're going to want to pick your gender for this. That's because the timers have slightly different offsets. So I'll pick girl. Actually, I'll pick boy. And then you're going to hit this stop button with your mouse button the same time as you hit A to continue on the screen. And then you're going to pick your gender like usual. And then on this screen, on this dialog here, you're going to hit the stop button again with your mouse at the same time as you push A. Type your name. And then hover over the enter button. And then you're going to hit stop once again at the same time as you continue here, as you confirm your name. Now, the final thing you're going to do is on the yes or no section here, you're going to hit F9 on your keyboard at the same time as you hit A. So your timer starts and this stop button happens at the same exact time. And now you're going to hit generate. And so where this is going to be showing you what ID you'll be landing on if you hit A at this exact time. And I forget, we picked 82 or whatever. I don't remember what frame. 81. So we want frame 165, and that's 2 columns here. So this column is showing you how long in frames, not milliseconds, in frames, how long the ID is going to be lasting. This column here is showing you how many milliseconds away from your final A press on the yes key there, or not milliseconds, how many frames away your target ID is. Again, I already forgot what frame. I think it was 165. Now, here's the thing. In my experience, this timer has gone a little bit out of sync with what, with like this blue timer here has gone a little bit out of sync with what the game is actually doing. However, the frames have never been out of sync. So I'm going to go to the 81 and I'm going to copy this frame and I'm going to put it into Flowtimer here. And I'm going to hit submit. And the timer is going to count down, continue counting until it is time for you to hit the A button. And when this timer finishes, you're going to hit the A button. Now, the nice thing here is you'll know your full trainer ID, secret ID, TSV, and TRV, right? So this is, the value you need for square shinies. This is your TSV. You need that for shinies. Trainer ID, secret ID is good. You'll know your nickname capabilities and all that kind of stuff. And if you miss your frame, it's going to be really easy to figure out, why. And as you can see, I actually only have an 8-frame window to hit my target trainer ID, so there's a chance I miss it. Normally something like this, like a 145-frame window, it's going to be basically impossible for you to miss it. But. And it seems like it would move every time this guy blinks. However, there's actually, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, that there is off-screen elements that also cause the advancements. Like, look at this one. It's a 1-frame window. What a hard ID to land that'd be. So we're just going to wait. Now, like I said, if you want a more specific ID, you're going to have to be soft resetting many, many more times. And I'll probably do that on my own time. Maybe go for, my birthday or my fiance's birthday, or like my cat's birthday, or maybe I'll try and reset for the ID that has the Genesect trainer ID that I have, so I can rename an event Pokemon. That would be pretty cool. The downside for event Pokemon is you need to have your full trainer ID and secret ID and trainer name to be exact. So that means you're gonna have to reset probably a fair number of times before you're able to get the trainer ID secret ID combo that you're looking for if you're trying to rename an event, but you know, it'll be worth it when it happens. As you can see, we're not too far away at this point. Only about 1,000 frame window left. So I'm going to be preparing mentally and emotionally. And I also usually lower the volume when I get close. It just helps me focus. You know, you don't have to do it yourself. Everyone has different techniques for how they hit the A button. For how they focus to push the button. So as you can see, that one scrolled by really fast. I don't know. I don't know if I hit it on the right time. We'll see. I bumped my microphone. I hit the button so hard. And... oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Scroll down to see. Is it still going? Alright, I stopped it. Good. So as you can see, this is the ID I was aiming for, and here are the two IDs that surrounded it. I think there's a pretty good chance I was one late and I hit 21664. I didn't realize that this one had such a short frame window, but you know, what are you gonna do? Just check your trainer ID. Yep, I hit one late. As you can see, this is such a short window, it can be difficult to do that type of thing. I'll give it one more go. Yeah, so if you can't find the TID you want, or you miss your trainer ID, just do another soft reset and search from your previous seed. You know, because the frames move so slow, and you're going to be searching through a relatively small pool of IDs every single time, you're not always going to find exactly the ID that you want on your first try. And so if I can't find anything, I'll just end up looking for, you know, whatever. For whatever ID that I can find. Instantly find another ID, or ID seed, and let's see, let me find anything good. 20. All right, we're gonna try and blow through this shit, because that is the idea that I want. Boy. Like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the ID that I want. We'll see. See if I can get it. I think I might have passed 623 already, huh? It's supposed to be at 23. I can't find it. Is it 27 rather? Yeah, it was too low, so too many frames advanced. While going on. Lame. So, because I moved on too quickly and I thought I could find, you know, if I could get it. What I can do is just aim for another frame later on. Let's see where we're at right now. Like I said, this bar is moving. We will go for something really close. And we'll pick one with a longer, you know, run time here. We'll go with this one. So frame 6028. And that's an ID of 56136. Timer's going to be coming up. Could have hit too early. We're looking at either one of these two ideas. Or it could be 22824. So as you can see, I aimed for this exact frame and I nailed it. 56136. So now I know my trainer ID, my secret ID, my TSV, and my TRV. So as you can see, this is not really a difficult RNG to pull off, and you have the potential to be able to get a really cool custom trainer ID from it. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want some more in-depth questions answered, try joining my Discord and I'll be able to help you out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Bunziri for making the original Japanese tools and for the Japanese guide. I'll see you guys next time.